Imagine standing in front of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Millions of enormous stones rise above you, forming one of the most famous structures ever built. Now, imagine trying to construct something this massive without cranes, trucks, excavators, engines, or modern construction equipment. It sounds almost impossible. Yet thousands of years ago, ancient Egyptian builders managed to create these enormous monuments using surprisingly simple technology, careful planning, engineering knowledge, and an incredible amount of human effort. The first challenge was obtaining the stone. The pyramids required enormous quantities of limestone, and many of these blocks had to be carefully separated from the surrounding rock. Egyptian workers used stone tools, copper tools, wooden implements, and other simple equipment to cut and shape the blocks. The work was difficult and physically demanding, but it did not need to be completed by one person. Large teams could work together, with different workers performing different tasks. While some workers shaped the stone, others prepared the next blocks and cleared the working area. But cutting the stones was only the beginning. The massive blocks still had to travel from the quarry to the pyramid construction site. Here, the Nile River became one of the Egyptians' greatest advantages. Instead of dragging every heavy block across the desert, stones could be transported by boat along the river and its connected waterways. Ancient Egyptian civilization was closely connected to the Nile, and this enormous river provided a natural transportation route for people, food, tools, and heavy materials. Once a stone reached land, another challenge began. How could workers move something weighing several tons? One important solution was the wooden sledge. The stone could be placed on a sledge and pulled by a team of workers using strong ropes. Instead of depending on a powerful engine, the Egyptians depended on teamwork. Dozens of workers could pull together, turning thousands of individual movements into one powerful force. There is also evidence that the Egyptians understood how to make the ground easier to work on. Ancient Egyptian artwork shows workers pouring liquid in front of a sledge. Experiments have suggested that carefully adding water to sand can change its properties and reduce the resistance experienced by a moving sledge. This would have made the difficult task of dragging heavy stones more manageable. But there was an even bigger problem. Moving a stone across the ground was one thing. Getting that stone higher and higher as the pyramid grew was another. This is where ramps become an important part of the story. Instead of attempting to lift every enormous block vertically, workers could move the stones gradually upward along sloping surfaces. The exact design of the ramps remains uncertain. Some theories suggest that straight ramps may have been used. Other ideas propose zigzagging ramps, ramps that surrounded parts of the pyramid, or combinations of different methods. We should therefore be careful when claiming that we know exactly how every block was raised. The evidence gives us clues, but there is still debate about the precise techniques used during different stages of construction. What we do know is that ancient Egyptian builders were highly organized. Building a pyramid was not simply a huge crowd of people randomly pulling stones. Different groups had different responsibilities. Some workers quarried stone. Others transported materials. Some prepared construction areas and ramps. Others positioned blocks and checked measurements. Skilled craftsmen produced tools and equipment, while people working behind the scenes supplied food, water, housing, and other necessities. This organization may have been one of the greatest secrets behind the pyramids. Imagine one group working in a quarry, while another group transports stones along the Nile. At the same